Mr. Teka, great honor to have you here.
Thank you.
You are currently studying for a PhD at the Institute of South-South Cooperation and Development of Peking University. I wonder why you chose China to further your study and what impressed you the most during this period.
Thank you for the interview. Yeah, I'm studying my PhD in the Peking ISCAD Institute of South-South Cooperation. But I have been here many times in China, more than 10 times. When I visited China, I was so inspired, by the development, how the miracle, even when I came every time, I saw many development, many progresses, I want to know deeply about this economic growth, and I just want to apply, to my country. What can we learn from China, and what can I take from this study to my country?
We know you have been actively engaged in many think tanks, as well as international communication events like forums. Could you share with us your important observations and what you have learned from studying and living in China?
After I arrived here in the Peking University, I decided to participate in many forums and workshops because, as I told you, I was so interested to know, deeply about the economic growth of China. So this workshop will give me, an opportunity to see how the development was happened in China. So I participate in many workshops and think tank groups. So I got many important things, especially on the modernization path of China, the cooperation, BRI, the Belt and Road Initiative, how was it started, and the cooperation with any developing countries, the South-South cooperation.
You once said in a forum that developing countries can't identify with the developed countries' concept of modernization. Why did you come to that conclusion?
When we see, the history of especially the African countries as a developing nation, we have been through many reforms, many modernization reforms, to our country to develop the economy, to bring growth, to bring prosperity to the people. But it doesn't work. It didn't work because that kind of modernization comes, from the Western, perspective. They try to impose, their modernizing path, to the developing country. So that kind of, imposition, it didn't work in Africa. We need to search another way, how can we keep our culture, values, and become modernization like China. So when I try to find, the best way, to develop, to make Africa more modernized, just the path of modernization, I found China as the best model.
And from your perspective, what lessons Chinese modernization can offer to African countries?
As African, what we learn from the Chinese modernization path is we have to know what kind of resource we have, what are our values, what are the cultures of the society, how can we integrate, the modernization path with this society, culture, and values. How can we bring all the communities to this path of modernization? How can they own this modernization by themselves? And the modernization is not only focused on the physical infrastructure. Modernization also gives a big portion, a big development, a big concern for the humanity. That's what we learn from China. Develop prosperity, among the peoples, among the communities.
Chinese modernization underlines the harmony between community and nature. And regarding nature, Ethiopia is rich in water resources and often referred to as the water tower of East Africa. Do you see any opportunities that Chinese modernization might bring to the green development of Ethiopia?
The Chinese, modernization path has given us, a chance to see what kind of cooperation can we get from China, for the green development. As you mentioned, we are very rich in water, and we are the tower of water in Africa. So we need to utilize this water. So one of the focus is on hydropower, development. The electricity in Ethiopia, most of the electricity comes from the hydropower. So some of the hydropower is developed by the Chinese company actually. Like the Teka and some hydropowers are developed by Chinese, and still many Chinese companies are still working in Ethiopia on the green development.
The Belt and Road cooperation between China and Ethiopia has yielded fruitful results for the past few years. Last October, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed attended the third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation held in China.
Yeah.
Could you introduce the current cooperation in energy field between the two sides under the BRI?
As I mentioned, the Chinese company has done a lot of work on this area because with the experience they have, on the hydropower and solar energy and some other, green energies, So the support of the cooperation between Ethiopia and China is very important because they came with the experience, So currently the cooperation is very strong and very promising actually. Still there are some going on projects actually on the solar energy. BRI has many achievements in Ethiopia. It's helping us, to develop our economy, creating employees, employment opportunity. This is critical for Ethiopia. So currently we have around 500,000 jobs that created by the Chinese company, temporary and permanent work jobs are created by the Chinese company. So we are very grateful for the Chinese, BRI.
Now Ethiopia is a full member of BRICS. What new development opportunities do you think that BRICS membership will bring to Ethiopia?
One of the big opportunities, the economic cooperation will be more vast. We'll have big market access, technology transfer, and cooperation between these countries is very important in Ethiopia. That's what we expect. If we utilize properly, our membership to BRICS, how can we strengthen, the cooperation between these BRIC countries? So this is a big move for Ethiopia actually, for the economic development of the country. Yeah.